Previously, in the anime, Demon Lord Varvatos had everything except friends and family, so he chose to reincarnate himself. And after 3,000 years he was reborn as Ard Meteor in a very common household, where he became friends with Irina and later when they enrolled in the academy. They saved a girl named Ginny from a guy who always bullied her. The three had become close friends and Ard still doesn't know that both girls are after him. But while the school competition was going on, and Irina and Ginny made it to the finals, demons attacked the city, so Ard and Olivia went off to save the people from those demons. But before they could come back, a teacher turned out to be the real mastermind and abducted Irina. Then, after returning back, Ard learned about Irina and decided to save her, so Weiss gives Ard full access to the royal treasury to choose any weapon he wants. So Ard chose his weapon and was about to take off, but there Ginny comes by and tells Ard to bring Irina safely because she protected her as a true friend when her life was in danger. Ard tells her not to worry because he will comes back with Irina and told Ginny to prepare a feast to celebrate and leaves. As for Irina, she had a greater concern as well as fear that Ard might leave her behind after knowing the truth about her identity, and that's the reason even Ard's own father, Jack, never told Ard about Irina's secret, that she's the real princess and the heir to the throne. And the whole reason they stay hidden and always rules the kingdom through proxy is because they had the blood of the evil god running through them, and because of her blood. The demons kidnapped Irina to offer her life as a sacrifice to revive one of the evil gods, but Ard saved her just as that monster was about to eat her up. Then Ard cast the 9 cast magic to burn down all the demon minions to clear a path, after which he freed Irina and she jumped into his arms. But Jessica was enjoying their joyful moment and she wanted to ruin it badly, so Jessica tells Ard about Irina's secret as she has the evil god's blood running through her. Jessica thought Ard might despise Irina after learning this, but Ard doesn't care about her past or origins, so now that her plans to torment Irina failed, Jessica goes berserk and takes her true form of a dragon, so to beat her up, Ard also brought out the spirit of Lydia, the only friend he ever had in his previous life who had become his sword. But that much power wasn't enough to defeat Jessica, so Ard used his second phrase of power and completely overpowered Jessica. Ard used his full power and burned Jessica to ashes. But Irina was still concerned that Ard might leave her because he knows about her bloodline, but Ard showed her that he means what he told Jessica, that he doesn't care about her bloodline. But, while this got over, another headache was rising. Her name is Sylphie, and she came out of the dungeon after 3 years of training to help Lydia in the war. But the outside world has completely changed. Then a mysterious guy meets her and told her that it's been 3,000 years since she's been in that dungeon. But time flows differently inside the dungeon, so it's only been 3 years for her, but for the outside world 3,000 years had passed. From the looks of it, Sylphie realizes that person knows about her. So she asked him about Lydia and the war, but he told her to ask the demon Lord Varvatos himself, because he's been reborn as Ard Meteor in this era. But in the meantime Ard was meeting with the principal to discuss the upcoming annual festival, because a threatening letter came in and it was written on the human skin. So the principal asks him to join the security department while the festival takes place, so Ard agreed to it, but after that when Ard was in the classroom, Sylphie crashed in and started to annoy everyone to find Ard, but Olivia came out and scolded her for not changing her aggressive behavior even after 3,000 years. Ard agrees to it silently and Sylphie noticed it, so there she knew he's the real Varvatos and asked him about everything, about Lydia and the war. But Ard tries to tell her he's just a plain old person, not a demon lord, but Sylphie didn't believe in Ard's word and started to become more annoying. So Irina had enough of her and told Sylphie to back out. Irina resembles Lydia too much, so Sylphie wanted to become her friends, but Irina refused because she was annoying Ard. And as a result Sylphie challenges Ard to a duel thinking Irina might change her mind seeing her power, and Olivia had no problem with this and gave her permission to this duel. Because Olivia wanted to find out if Ard is the real demon Lord Varvatos, so Ard thought of getting beaten up, but unknowingly he defeats Sylphie with just a swing. So being angry from it she brought out her sword, which was real trouble that filled the air with poison, but thankfully Olivia reminded her of her surroundings. And additionally even Irina scolded her just as Lydia used to scold her like a real big sis, after which Sylphie apologized for her behavior, and then, the class discussed about the festival. So everyone agreed to organize a play on Varvatos, for that they chose Ard for the role of Varvatos, and Sylphie nominated Irina to play Lydia in the play. But no one wanted to play the part of the evil god, so Sylphie stood up to do that part. But aside from the play, the class had to set another thing in the festival. So Ginny gives the idea to open up a maid's cafe, but that mysterious guy from before had some other plans to ruin Ard's life. So, just as the school festival starts, Ard and Irina were on patrol duty, but they came across a tree with a history of the Sword King Lydia, so they asked Olivia about it. But she refused to say anything because the information of that tree was confidential. But aside from that, Olivia told Ard she's taking part in the sword competition herself. And she took the liberty of adding Ard in the list as well, so Ard had no choice but to go along with her decision, and while that was troubling enough, Sylphie was causing trouble again. So Ard scolded her for trying to kill the perverts who entered their cafe, so Ard was about to leave after calming her down, but Ginny stopped him and told him to spend some time in the cafe. All the girls were head over heels for him and started to offer themselves to Ard, so Irina becomes jealous and told all the girls that she would take care of Ard herself. But then the announcement happened and informed everyone that the replica sword of the Sword King Lydia is the prize for the winners in the sword tournament. So hearing this, Sylphie was set to take part in it for that sword. Then the sword tournament started and Olivia and Ard were paired up for their match. So she pushed Ard back with her skills this time, so Ard uses a powerful spell to defend himself, but he used a little bit too much of his power, so Ard got disqualified for using magic. And then the next match was between Irina and Ginny, but in the end, Irina managed to secure the win. Then the tournament took a short break, so the three went to fill in their roles in the Demon Lord play, which ended with a nice success. But there Sylphie mistook a random girl for Lydia and followed her, but there the mysterious guys once again showed up and brought Sylphie out. He told Sylphie to kill Ard and brainwashed her and showed her that he killed Lydia in cold blood. Seeing this, Sylphie broke up, and on another day of the festival, when the sword tournament was about to continue, Sylphie comes there and tells Ard to meet her at the Sword King tree at night. After that, Sylphie ended the match in an instant and won the tournament. And after that, at night, Ard meets with Sylphie near the Sword King tree. Lydia was considered the Sword King, and there Sylphie absorbed the power of the Lydia through the holy sword that she won in the tournament. It was the weapon of Lydia, and it wasn't just a replica. It was the real deal, so Sylphie had made up her mind to kill Ard to get revenge for killing her big sis Lydia, so she struck down Ard and injured him fatally. But her rage still continued and she attacked even Irina as well, so Ard changed into his Demon Lord form, but he couldn't bring himself to hurt her, and just as Sylphie was about to kill Ard, Lydia's voice told her to stop. Her voice brings her back to her senses from that brainwashing, so the mysterious guy showed up to take the matters in his own hands. But he was nowhere near Ard and got his butt kicked out. Then afterwards, Lydia comes out to tell Sylphie that Barbatos is not the reason for her death and told Sylphie to live her life to its fullest and returns back to Ard into his sword. And just like that, our video for today comes to an end, but stay tuned to watch more of the anime recaps on my channel. Till then, take care.